How's it going, everybody? My name is James, and in today's video, we are going to be breaking down Aussie USD, and we're going to be doing it with the Edge Finder. We're going to go through a few different tabs here, get a whole bunch of information on Aussie USD and how it's trading, and who knows, maybe we'll even take a trade at the end of the video. We're going to look for some potential trade setups, but Aussie USD has a very bearish bias here in the Edge Finder with a score of -10, and I've got that chart pulled up here on TradingView. So this is what the daily chart for Aussie USD looks like right now. We can see that ever since December, so about a month and a half ago, this thing has just been trading down pretty strong. Had a little bit of consolidation here, but broke through that. Maybe got a little bit oversold, and now over the past 2 days, we see these two green candles. We are looking at the daily time frame, by the way, and if we break it down on the 4 hour, maybe we'll get a little bit more information about how this thing's really moving. So we did see a little bit of green in that daily candle, but it does seem like overall this could still be in a downward trend. So our kind of consolidation range ended, I would say, about right here, right, with this big move to the downside, and it never fully recovered from that. We got about, halfway or a third of the way back up, and it does look like it could be trading down again. Let's break it down on the 1 hour. And let's see, I take it back. So it actually looks like maybe we have a little bit of momentum to the upside. I don't know. This is why you have to look at multiple time frames, and why the Edge Finder is actually such a useful tool, because we're going to get a lot more information and decide if we think this really is a strong, very bearish bias like the Edge Finder says, or if maybe this thing is a little bit of momentum to the upside. But let's go ahead and break it down with one of my favorite tools in the Edge Finder, one of our newest tools actually too, and that's the Smart Money Indicator. The Smart Money Indicator is a really cool tool because it features two of our Edge Finder tabs. It's our COT data tab as well as our retail positioning tab, kind of paired together in one. So we're looking at is COT positioning as well as retail positioning on any given asset that we track here in the Edge Finder. So I'm going to find AUD USD right here. And this red line right here is retail sentiment. So the more above this zero, this neutral line right here, that this red or blue line is, the more bearish or more bullish they are on that particular asset. Market analysis, free trading courses, Edge Finder data, and special offers. What do these things all have in common? They're all available for you right now inside of our free Discord. You can click the link down in the description below to join the free Discord today and get access to all of this and more. Stay up to date with all the latest trading information and A1 content. And if you want to upgrade to our Gold VIP Discord that features every single trade that Trader Nick and our other professional analysts take, you can find the links for that in the description as well. So don't wait, go check out the free Discord today. So if I were going to interpret this by just looking at retail and just looking at COT for a second, right now, retail is definitely favored bullish on AUD USD as a whole. We can see that they're well above this zero line here. And in fact, it's actually been moving higher. We can look back. This is January 4th right here. So pretty much the whole month of January into February, retail traders have been bullish on AUD USD. Now, COT, on the other hand, started off really bearish on AUD USD. That was at the end of 2023. Now that we're in the new year, their position is starting to change a little bit. We can see that COT has gone from being very bearish on AUD USD to not quite as bearish, but still overall favored bearish. And in fact, if we look at the COT data, right, that's what I thought. So they are shorting Australian dollar right now, smart money traders are, but they're very 50-50 on the US dollar. We can see that's actually nearly 50-50, 49.45%, 50.55%. So COT is completely undecided on where the dollar is going right now, but COT likes the Australian dollar to the downside, and that's good to keep note of. And probably why we are below this zero line right here. Technically speaking, they are favored bearish on AUD USD, whereas retail traders are favored bullish by a somewhat significant margin. Now, this is what the actual price of AUD USD has been doing. That's the white line right here that we haven't talked about yet. This is the AUD USD price, and we can see that as price began to fall and fall and fall, retail traders were going long. The reason that we like to compare what retail and COT is doing is because smart money traders, they usually are pretty smart and, no pun intended, but they usually know what they're doing in the markets, and they make a lot of money from trading, right? Whereas retail traders, the unfortunate situation that with their retail traders is oftentimes retail traders lose money in the markets. That's why we have these tools to help them find better positions, right? So as AUD USD was going down, retail was going long, but COT stayed bearish. So really all this is telling me right now is that COT is still kind of bearish on AUD USD, retail still long on AUD USD. What about bank forecasts? What do the banks have to say about AUD USD? This is another really cool feature that we have in the Edge Finder, because all of these different banks from all over the world have market research teams or analyst research teams that put together these reports that basically just talk about where they see price going, both on a monthly target as well as a quarterly target. So we are in the month of February now. So where do these banks think that AUD USD is heading by the end of February? Well, they all have a different answer for that. But if we average them together, all of these different market teams from all over the world, where do they think AUD USD is heading? We can see that they believe it's heading 0 to around 0.66. Well, where are we sitting right now? We are at 0.65. So banks from all around the world when you average together what they are putting out in their reports, they see price heading towards 0.66 by the end of February. And in fact, if we take a look at their quarterly target, so on a 3-month average, where do they think price is heading? They see it at 0.67 all the way up here. So retail traders are 50-50 on the dollar right now. They're favored short on the Australian dollar. Retail traders are going long. Smart money traders are still seemingly bearish, but banks seem to be bullish on AUD USD. Let's keep going and see if we can get a little bit more information. How about we check out our price forecasts and see what this has to say about AUD USD. Search for it up here, AUD USD. There we go. So based on the current trend, this price forecast, this is our calculation that we use to get these different trend lines right here. We have our true trend line, which is this white one right here, a slightly more bullish trend line and a slightly more bearish trend line, so just so you can get kind of the full range, full scope of where price may be heading. This is based on solely just how it's been moving in the market. So we can see that for a while here, for about a week or so, maybe a little bit longer, price did not do a whole lot. Kind of just sat in this range right here until January 30th, about a week ago. And since then, price has been moving down until it looks like yesterday to today had a bit of a jump up, right? So just based solely on how price has been trending over the past 2 or 3 weeks, price forecast believes that the trend is still going to be moving to the downside. Nothing crazy, not a big sharp move to the downside, but a nice steady move to the downside. Let's check out one last thing before we go back into the chart, and that's going to be seasonality. I want to look at seasonality on our monthly chart here, AUD USD. If you're unfamiliar with what seasonality is a really cool tool because it tracks over the last 10 years for each of these individual months how all of these assets trend. Are they historically bullish or the historically bearish in all of these given months? So what I find interesting by looking at this is, historically speaking, over the last 10 years, all averaged together, AUD USD is typically bearish in the month of February. So we've got a lot of different information here, right? Our -10 score, because COT is slightly bearish on AUD USD. Our retail sentiment, retail traders are long on AUD USD, which is a bearish signal for us. Seasonally, it trends down in the month of February. The trend over the past week or so has been moving downwards. It's the fundamental scores are all leaning bearish. But again, looking at our smart money indicator, over the past month or so, COT has become a little less bearish. They're starting to get a little bit more neutral on the pair, and banks are definitely bullish on this pair moving forward over the next month, over the next 3 months. So AUD USD has left us in a really interesting spot here, because on one hand, we have a lot of information pointing us towards the downside. In fact, I would say most of our information is pointing us to the downside, right? Because COT is still bearish. Retail is bearish. Seasonality is bearish. The trend over the past week or two has been bearish. And our fundamental scores here are bearish. Banks are really the only thing giving us a bullish signal. And the smart money indicator shows that even though COT is still bearish, they aren't quite as bearish as they used to be, although they were really bearish like in December. So that makes sense that they may not be quite as bearish as they used to be, a month and a half ago. So overall, I'm saying AUD USD does look like it is going to be trending to the downside. That's what it seems like based off of all of that information. So this could actually be a pretty good time to get in, because we have had a little bit of a pullback here. So it looks like we pulled back to around 65,393. So maybe if price comes back up to around that range, around this area here, that might be the best time to get in, because again, most of our information is pointing bearish. Had a little bit of a pullback right here, but you know what? That pullback makes sense too, because when we're looking at it using these trading view indicators that we have available on our website, a1trading.com, we can see that price was closing into this very oversold range right here. These green dots mean that price is being oversold at an extreme level and that it's due for a pullback. And that's kind of what we're seeing right here anyway. So yeah, based on all the information that we just looked over, I know it was a lot of information. My personal bias is going to be, I think that AUD USD is still in a bearish trend, but to maybe look for a pullback, at its highest level, wait for it to bounce off and then keep moving down before hopping in, if that's something that you decide to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want the Edge Finder for yourself, you can find it on our website, a1trading.com. There you can talk to some of our team members on our live chat, and you can also use promo code A1YT for a discount at checkout. We also have those trading view indicators, like I mentioned, this extension zones that show big ranges of overbought or oversold areas when it's due for a pullback, as well as just this little buy and sell indicator that looks for shifts in momentum. We can see that price was kind of consolidating, started to break through, and then it gave this little sell marker here and has actually moved lower since then as well. So two little fun indicators on there that you can go check out. We actually have more on our website. So yeah, go check out a1trading.com. We have a lot of free stuff on there as well if you've never checked it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button, or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.